Right now, there's probably deodorant in your bathroom, maybe body wash with some fake scent, maybe a candle that smells like ocean breeze, made specifically to hide the fact that you're an animal that sweats. You've been taught your whole life that your natural smell is gross, something to cover up before anyone gets close. But for most of human history, that idea wouldn't have made any sense at all. No soap, no perfume, no deodorant. For almost all of human history, people just smelled like people, sweaty bodies doing hard physical work outside all day. And yet, they still found partners. They still fell in love. They still had kids. So why didn't evolution just get rid of body odor if it's such a problem? It didn't get rid of body odor because body odor was never actually a flaw. It was information. Your body makes scent using sweat glands called apocrine glands, mostly in your armpits and groin. These don't just make you sweat to cool down. They release proteins and fats that mix with bacteria on your skin and create a smell that's totally unique to you. And that smell isn't random. It's basically a readout of part of your immune system. Buried in your DNA is a group of genes called the MHC, short for Major Histocompatibility Complex. These genes control how your immune system spots threats like viruses and bacteria. Your specific mix of these genes doesn't just affect your health, it also changes how you smell. Different immune gene combinations create different scents, which means your body odor is quietly telling everyone around you a little bit about your genetic code. In 1995, a Swiss scientist named Klaus Wedekind ran an experiment that later became famous as the sweaty t-shirt study. He had a group of men wear plain cotton shirts for 2 nights, no cologne, no scented soap. Then he had women smell the shirts without knowing who wore which one, and rate which smells they liked best. The results weren't random at all. Women kept preferring the scent of men whose immune genes were most different from their own. That's not random. That's evolution working exactly the way it's supposed to. When 2 people with very different immune genes have kids together, those kids end up with a stronger, more varied immune system. So smell was basically running a hidden compatibility test. Long before anyone knew what DNA was, the human nose was already reading it. So picture your ancient ancestors around a fire, unwashed, sweaty from a full day of work. That's not a species trying to hide something embarrassing. That's a species using one of its most powerful senses exactly how it evolved to be used. Smell wasn't getting in the way of attraction. Smell was part of how attraction happened in the first place. This is also why smell hits you so hard emotionally. Unlike sight or hearing, smell connects almost directly to the amygdala and hippocampus, the parts of your brain in charge of emotion and memory. That's why one smell can instantly bring back a memory you haven't thought about in years. Your nose isn't just picking up chemicals, it's wired straight into the emotional center of your brain. That doesn't mean ancient humans never tried to smell different. They did, just not for the reasons you'd guess. Archaeologists have found early humans rubbing animal fat, ash, and crushed herbs onto their skin, mostly to protect against bugs, sun, and cold, not to hide their natural smell. They bathed in rivers when water was around. But in most early cultures, your natural scent stayed part of how people recognized you, bonded with you, and chose you. So what changed things? Cities. Once humans packed closer together, natural scent stopped being a private signal between 2 people and became a shared problem for hundreds of people crammed into the same streets. Ancient Egyptians made some of the earliest perfumes to help manage that. The Romans built massive public bathhouses. By the Middle Ages in Europe, strong scent had gone from a private signal of health to something people were expected to hide. By the 1800s, factories made soap cheap enough for regular people to wash daily for the first time in history. By the 1900s, deodorant turned washing into full-on scent erasure, built specifically to wipe out any trace of your natural smell. In under 200 years, humans went from a species that used smell to judge genetic compatibility to a species spending billions of dollars every year making sure nobody can smell them at all. Some scientists think all this scent masking might be messing with a system your body still relies on. In a 2008 study, women on hormonal birth control showed the opposite preference in scent tests, getting drawn to men with more similar immune genes instead of different ones. You still have all the hardware though. Your apocrine glands are still making that same unique chemical signature they always have. Your nose is still wired straight into your brain's emotional center. The system your ancestors used for hundreds of thousands of years hasn't gone anywhere. It's just buried under soap, fake fragrance, and an entire industry built on convincing you your natural smell is a problem. So next time you catch someone's scent and can't explain why it feels familiar or oddly comforting, that's not random either. That's hundreds of thousands of years of biology, quietly doing exactly what it always did, long before anyone thought to cover it up.